This content may contain material that could be distressing or triggering to some individuals, including, but not limited to, discussions of trauma, mental health, violence, abuse, or other sensitive topics. Please proceed with care.
It is 50 minutes after we were supposed to start filming.
We made it.
Did we? Did we really?
I think we're doing it, so...
This is a hard day to be someone that works in pre and post prod for the podcast. I don't want to die. I just want to cry. It's the whole thing. Anyway, whatever. We've made it.
Cheers.
Dana's with us today. We have a third voice and one microphone. If you don't laugh, you cry, right, Beck?
Correct. Look, we'll make it work.
Say hi to everyone, Beck. I'm always the one saying hi.
Hey, guys.
Dana's here.
Hi.
We've got a guest today. I really love... You know what's fucked is that, like, Dana's probably, like, one of the guests that I'm like, I have so many... Like, I will sit forever and listen to Dana talk about what we're about to talk about today.
Oh,
right, I have. I've been saying.
Thank you.
I'm like, I know that Dana has a lot to say about what we're about to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And even like in our friendship, I've been like, tell me more about this. Like, I want to know. Like, I want to learn and I want to understand. And like, and now we're fucking here, and
With one mic
between three people, and I want to scream and shout and let it all out.
The quote of the century.
Right? Thank you. I was meant to look at my notes before we started.
Everyone's just really thrown.
Oh,
by the last
thrown
50
is
minutes.
a lovely way to put it.
Not me personally. I'm fine.
You are as cool as a fucking cuke. And I appreciate that about you because you know what? Someone's got to be. It's not me. It couldn't be me, but someone has to be.
That's all right. We're here. We're doing it. We're good.
Do you have your notes?
You want me to... Okay, I'll film it.
Well, just so that way we can flow through
right.
this effectively. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Let's try and have a good time.
We've got the cokes. We've got the tea.
Yeah.
We're ready to go.
Oh. You know how earlier I said I only have one Coke a day? I feel like today's a 2 Coke day.
Oh,
after
absolutely.
That. Fucking no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm treating to myself on it all the time.
100%.
Tell us about like your IVF journey. Tell us about what that looks like. Tell us about getting to baby number 1 and the journey it took.
IVF. I feel like anyone you speak to that has been through the IVF journey will use the same word to describe it, which is a roller coaster.
Oh, I've heard that millions of times.
There is nothing straightforward or easy about the process. So for us, like in a sense, we were incredibly lucky with our journey for both of our children. So going into it, it was kind of like a little bit unexplained as to why we weren't able to conceive. There was an element of male factor there, but then like...
Male factor, did you say?
Male.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I thought you said male... I was like, is that a word I've never heard of? I mean, it fucking might be.
There was like an element of it there being male factor reasons, but then like after the whole process, it was kind of like, no, that wasn't really an issue.
Okay.
So like they at first thought that maybe the sperm count like was a little bit lower or that they were like not great swimmers, but then on the day of our egg collection, they were perfect.
Oh.
So it's kind of that one of those things, sperm, it's like it can be great one day and then a few months later it can be really bad and it just goes up and down.
I did not know
so
that.
Apparently you get like a new batch of sperm every like 3-ish months and then like it's just like...
Well, like at the beginning of the month, the beginning of the batch, it's like they're good, great swimmers and then they just get shit.
I don't know the technicalities of it, but like when we were getting tested, it was like we got one and then the sample and they were like, we'll retest in 3 months because you kind of get like a new batch and we'll see how that one goes. And they're like, chances are it'll probably be better. Waited the 3 months, did the testing again, much, much worse.
Right.
And they were like, okay, like this isn't great. We're going to go down the IVF route. And then on the day of our egg collection.
Yeah, when they...
Perfect. No issues. Normal ranges. Fine.
And you obviously got embryos because then you had kids.
Yeah. So when I went to my first scan, so in the lead up to your egg collection, you get your scan, your follicles.
I have to do that too.
Yeah.
Coming up.
And they were like, okay, like you've got a lot there. Like
Yeah,
you've got
same.
A lot, you've got
Same
a lot
thing
of
happened to
follicles.
me.
Yeah. So they
Were
were
you
like,
really like swollen and juicy and fat? I was. I was like, I looked about 5 months pregnant when I had that scan.
I wouldn't even say so, which I think they were quite surprised because I know a lot of people are very uncomfortable in a lot of pain.
It's not nice.
Yeah, so
for me anyway.
they were like, this is going to take a while. Like, just bear with us. We're going to have to count because there were so many.
Oh, wow.
And then I like did my trigger, everything. We went in. They were like, we know that we've got a lot waiting for us. We got 26
eggs.
I
had 27.
Wow.
Like my first donation round. Yeah, 27.
Twins. And so when I woke up,
which is a lot. Like they only meant to take between 8 to 12.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I knew like
just like multiplying it.
yeah, I knew from discussions with the fertility specialist that they say like aim for like 10, 12 kind of thing. So woke up, had the number 26 on my hand, which I was gobsmacked. And then I feel like
they put you to sleep here. I've only had egg collection in Queensland when I donated, and
yes, I remember you telling me.
Awake.
No, you literally. I think it's like a twilight they call it,
Yeah.
where like technically you're not like out, but do not remember anything.
Yeah, the same thing happened to my sister.
Yeah.
And she said when I woke up, I had the number. So
Yeah. And same thing happened to Maddie as well.
So don't remember anything, didn't feel anything. Woke up, had the number on my hand, felt pretty good, and I was like, I'm feeling good. They're like, do you want any pain relief? And I was like, no, I'm sweet. And normally they make you stay for a few hours, but they were like, if you're feeling good and you can get up, like you can just go. And I was like, oh, sweet. And I remember the poor girl next to me was like, I'm in so much pain.
That was I was that poor girl next
Yes.
to you. That was me.
Yeah.
I was fucked.
And I remember I was talking to that girl prior to going in because you kind of the way that where I was, the way they do it, like you go in pairs. So like you go together.
That's cute.
Yeah, it
A
was
little
really,
sisterhood
I know,
moment.
it was really cute. And we like got chatting and shared our stories with each other. And when we woke up, I heard her in the bed next to me and she was in agony.
Just not well.
She was, not having a good time. And they were like, okay, we're going to get you like medication. And then to me, they're like, you can go. And I was like, okay.
Do you know what's funny is that I had an almost carbon copy experience, except one, I wasn't asleep, and two, I was the other bitch.
Yep.
Where like they don't do it in pairs where I went, but like essentially like straight after me, this other woman walked out. I was wheeled out in a wheelchair. This other woman walked out and she was like, the nurse was like, oh, like, you know, if you're good, then you can go. Do you want any pain relief? No. What's your pain like out of 10? She was like, maybe a 3. And she was like, okay, well, like, is someone here to pick you up? She's like, no, I'm going to work after this. And I'm like, like shaking, sobbing, crying in so much pain.
Yeah, I've heard that people do go to work afterwards. And like, even though I felt fine, absolutely not. Like, why would you do that? I mean, obviously there are some circumstances where people can't get that time off. But I was like, why would I do that to myself?
If you can get the day off, just fucking stay home.
Yeah, so I think afterwards we went across to like, and we got Guzman, ate Guzman, felt great. Like, all was good. And then that night I was like,
something doesn't feel right.
Not feeling great. And then progressively was like in more and more pain. I'm pretty sure we went out for dinner.
Did you go into overstimulation?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah. So we went out for dinner for my dad's birthday and I'm at the table like, oh my God, like I'm in so much pain. And then we went home, went to bed. I remember feeling shocking. And I woke up in the middle of the night in like a sweat. And I was like, I'm going to vomit, like bolted to the bathroom, had my head in the toilet. I was dripping in sweat. And they always say to you with IVF after a collection, if you have a temperature, if you're in excruciating pain, like you need to go to the emergency room. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I'm the type of person, I am not going to the emergency department unless I am literally dying. Like, because I'm just like, I can't waste a bed. I can't waste their time. Like, and my husband was like, we need to go. Like, these were the specific instructions.
Isn't it funny that if this was somebody else,
like,
100%. If this was a child, you'd be like,
go.
We're going. The temperature's the first start for me. We're off. But
exactly.
for ourselves, it's straight in the back burner because it's not that important. But like you said, I don't want to waste their time. I don't like. You're a patient as well.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, my husband was like, we need to go because the nausea, the vomiting, the temperature.
And you had ticking all the boxes at this point.
Exactly. I was ticking every box. And so we went to ED.
And that's just, from what I understand is hyperstimulation.
OHSS, over hyperstimulation syndrome, something like that.
It happens when you get more eggs retrieved, right?
So when you like produce too many follicles, and I don't know the technicalities behind it, but then basically you can get a fluid buildup and the fluid can go into your lungs and you can like essentially drown.
Wow.
That's
pretty serious.
Yeah.
That's fucking horrendous.
So I went to ED. I went through fairly quickly. The triage nurse was like, I think I need to do IVF as well. So like, don't worry, girl, I'm going to take care of you. She was so sweet. And then I ended up knowing the ED nurse that was on. it was just like crazy. All the stars aligned, and she was like, she put me back there, and
that's nice.
I got seen, and they were like, yeah, like you definitely have overstimulated. And so I ended up staying in the hospital for 3 nights, I think. And while I was in
And
ED,
were they just treating you until it passes, or do they treat the
So it's basically monitoring. They
Yeah.
need to monitor you. They do scans to make sure the fluid buildup isn't too much. And then I believe they can drain the fluid if necessary, but I wasn't at that point.
That's good.
Yeah. So, but your belly does go really big. I remember looking at myself in the mirror thinking that I looked pregnant.
Look pregnant.
Yeah. But I
crazy.
got the call from the embryologist, I think it is. So I was in ED still. My husband had just gone home to like get clothes and everything, and they called me to give me my update as to how like my embryos did. And so I had 26 eggs collected, and he called and he was like, "Hi, so generally the first step we see maybe half make it. So for you, we would have liked to have seen 13, but unfortunately we've only got 3." And I just like burst into tears. I'm in ED by myself in so much pain, and I'm just like sobbing on the bed. And he was like, you know, it's obviously not the result that we wanted, but we still have.
Is that
3.
do they make it to blastocyst? Those 3? No.
This was like day 1.
Oh,
This was the day 1.
so you still had time.
Well, normally, like, as you go, like, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they die off.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
true.
only on day 1, and
Yeah.
I've got 3
Yeah.
out of 26.
Yeah.
And so I was, like, hysterical, and he could obviously tell. He's like, this is really upsetting. Like, I'm really sorry, da-da-da-da-da. And so, like, I hung up, and then I'm, like, sobbing.
And you're like, I'm in hospital, I've got all this pain, I've gone
Yeah, I was
through this
gonna say,
shit, and
kind
for
of-
3 fucking
Yeah, because it
pussy
kind of
weak
felt like
embryos.
it was for nothing, not for nothing.
Yeah.
But when you got that much, like,
Because I was on
26
such
is
a
a lot.
high
Yeah.
from getting 26, and that's what I mean about IVF being such a roller coaster. Like, I was so
Yeah.
up here, like, wow, we got so many, and then the next day to just come shooting down.
Plummeting, yeah.
Yeah.
And I even have to say that I felt the same when I was donating. I mean, I still went through IVF to donate my eggs, not for myself. But with the boys, they split them down the middle and did sperm for like each, and I had 27, and then we ended up fertilizing 17 of them,
Wow.
but then only 5 made it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And like, I'll never forget sitting at the dining table at their house, still fucking like not well, because I was like
Yeah.
still fucked. And they said, we've got for, I'm not gonna name them because I don't know if they want that, but
Yeah.
for like man A, partner A, we have 3, and we're happy with them. We're gonna give it a couple more days, but for now we've got 3. And for the other couple, man B, we have none, but we're gonna still give it away, give it a minute, give it a couple of days to see if any of them make it.
Yeah.
And then he will always have a special place in my heart because I could see the pain in his eyes, but the way he was like, that's okay, we've still got time. He was
Yeah.
trying so hard to be positive, and I could see it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we got the call 2 days later that 2 of his made it. So then they had 5 in total, right? But I remember looking over at them and I was like, still fucked, being like, if we have to do this again, we'll do this again. Like, we're gonna do it again. If this is what we have to do to get more, and you need to have some embryos created with your sperm, then we will do this again. There's no questions asked. But even for me, I'm about to start tomorrow. I start my IVF needles again for my second donation for a different couple.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally tomorrow on my birthday, I'm jabbing up. So I don't know if you do know this. Did you have to do counselling with your IVF? Okay, so
They
I
offer
did.
it, but I didn't have to.
Okay, you have to as a donor, and if you're receiving sperm donation as well, you also have to. So I had to do counselling, and one of the things that came up in this round is that I had 27 eggs, fertilized 17, and 5 made it. What if this time we do only get the 8 to 12 that is expected, and then I feel like fucking shit, even though that's what's normal. Normal.
Because you were like
because
an
nothing is
overachiever
normal, right?
last
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I was an overachiever last time, and 17 were able to be fucking fertilized. So like, I know that it's not on me, and I'm doing the same meds as last time. Like, nothing has changed,
Yeah.
but it has crossed my mind. Like, what if this time I'm average, and that to me feels like I'm shit.
You failed.
Yeah.
I failed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're right when you say, I can only imagine what it's like when you're going through IVF to create your own baby, and that's the roller coaster for me as an egg donor. That even felt like a roller coaster to me. So like, when you're creating your own family, that that's crazy. Like,
Yeah. And there
As
was
well as to be in hospital.
yeah,
That's
At that
right.
moment.
Like to be, I was like, I just put my body through the fucking ringer, and like I might not even get anywhere.
Yeah.
And then like also like I have to think about everyone before me that's done this and that is also going through this.
Yeah.
Like it's such like it
There's a
fucks with
lineage.
you
Yeah.
so much. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. I hands down like one of the most emotional things I've ever gone through. Like
Wow.
I remember during my like 2-week period with my injections and all those hormones going through, like I just cried and cried and cried. Like the hormones just fucked with me so much, and I'm not a very like emotional person. I don't cry very much. Well, not so much anymore now that I'm a parent, but prior to having kids, like I was just like concrete. Like I never really
Yeah.
cried, and I literally cried for like that whole 2 weeks straight.
Wow.
I remember all the time at work, like my boss was like having to console me because I was just like such a mess. And then like when I went and got my ultrasound and they told me about my follicles, and then they were saying potentially you're not going to be able to do a fresh transfer, you're going to have to freeze them. Like that set me off. Like I was hysterical because I was like, another setback. Like what do you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like the overstimulation was just like a kick in the guts. And then I remember as
And
well
then hearing 3.
then hearing 3, and then to top it all off, they put you in the maternity ward.
No, they do
Yeah.
not.
They do.
heard that.
So I went onto the maternity ward with like people having their babies. And I was just like,
My mum had a very similar experience when she was being treated for endo.
mm-hmm.
And like, I'm an IVF surrogate baby.
Yeah.
And mum was in the maternity ward.
And like I understand, like you're going where you fit, and it's the most appropriate place to put you because
yeah,
like,
based off of the specialists that are coming in and out of that space.
yeah, that's right. And
That's
then
fucking
I remember
crazy.
as well, like after hanging up from the embryologist and like sobbing, the specialist actually arrived to come and see me, and I'm crying. She's like, what's wrong? Oh my God. And I'm like, I had 26 eggs and now I've only got 3. And she was like, that's great. Like, what do you mean? Like, you've got 3. And I couldn't like understand at that time because I think I was so naive to the IVF process and like what people truly have to go through. And for me, I'm like, yeah, but you're not understanding. Like, I had 26, now I have 3.
3
like,
embryos from 26
yeah,
eggs.
but for her, she obviously would see people that are doing egg collections and getting 0.
Yeah.
So it's like you sit in such two minds where I'm like, fuck, this is such a kick in the guts, and I still have 3. Like, you should be grateful.
That's very, yeah. And it reminds me similarly of we got pregnant IUI first round. So
It's
just
just crazy
artificial
to me,
insemination,
because
right?
I feel like IUI, like, I don't hear often of success stories with IUI.
Well, you got to consider the fact that we went in there not having any infertility issues.
Correct,
What we are
yeah.
is considered socially infertile, not
Okay.
medically
I've
infertile.
never heard that term before.
Yeah, and I'm socially infertile because I've never been with a man, and I've chosen to never be with a man. So I also had a trigger shot the day before to make sure my eggs were nice and ripe and juicy. I had a blood test every morning for 6 days straight to ensure that I was ovulating on the right fucking
that
day
second time around.
to then inseminate. And the sperm was obviously top tier, checked, cleaned, etc. because it was donation sperm. And when we got the call, because it obviously worked the first round, when we got the call and then we had to go in to, sit down with our fertility specialist again, she was so happy and so overwhelmed with joy. And she was like, I can't believe it. But in my head, I was like, of course it was going to fucking work. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I had my doubts, but then when it was a positive, my first answer was, this was timed so perfectly. I had a whole team of a fertility specialist. I had perfect, clean, amazing checked sperm. I had a trigger shot the day before. There is no, my ovulation was at its fucking peaks. I had 6 a.m. every day a blood test for 6 days straight to make sure I had the right fucking day. Like, how could this go wrong in my head?
It's so meticulous. Like,
Right? It is so... And I understand that that's obviously not the case for everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
But in my brain, there was... If it had gone wrong, there must have been a good fucking reason in my head.
Figure it out.
Yeah, work it out now,
Yeah.
you know? But for her, and like Taylor said to me afterwards, we left and I was like, she was so happy. That was so nice. But I feel like it was a bit like, she didn't have to be that happy.
Yeah.
And Taylor was like, yeah, but you got to think that people are normally coming to her because they've been trying to do this on their own for years. and then they come to her, and then she helps them get what they want.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's true. I wonder if this is just a case of they're not seeing many lesbian couples come in here that have really good reproductive systems and really good fertility, because that's what I do have.
Well, I think as well, like, the whole IVF journey comes with so much grief and sadness and loss that to see something like just perfectly go
the first time.
it's probably refreshing for her.
Yeah, probably.
To be like, oh wow, like,
yeah,
don't have to keep
I
going
did
at
that.
this one.
Yeah, I get that. Like, you're right, actually, and I have that perspective now.
Yeah.
But for, like you said, for your specialist to come in and be like, oh, 3, like, that's amazing, and then you sit there and you go, fuck, there are people that have 26 eggs and then don't get any embryos.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a grueling process, and I just have so much like sympathy and empathy for anyone going through the process. Like, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, like
It
it's
stings.
just,
Does it sting a little bit in your heart? You're like, oh fuck.
yeah. And like on the flip side, like people that fall pregnant naturally, like, I don't know if this sounds bad, but like I have a sense of jealousy.
Oh no, me too.
I'm like, fuck, I had to pay for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not alone in that.
And like when people are like, oh, we want to have a baby, so like we'll just go and have sex and that's it.
Call it a day.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go do blood tests, I gotta do hormones, I gotta run around and do this and that.
And you know what? As someone who it was quite easy for, I didn't realise it until my sister had to go through IVF, because both me and my other sister, it was so easy for us, you know. And then so when I would hear her stories of the IVF and what she had gone through, she'd had some miscarriages prior to the IVF. In my head, especially the younger sister, it worked for me. The oldest worked for the next one, so of course it's going to work for you. It wasn't hard for mum. Not too sure what's happening here. So when we heard the stories of her, and she had actually brought a bear online. I think it's like Bears of Hope. So the ones that don't get to walk out with the babies, they, you know, purchase a bear. And I was like, that was such a shocking moment for me, and a realisation of it's not easy for everybody. Like, until it happens to you or in your backyard.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. That's happened to one of us.
Yeah. And I think
it was such a realisation for me.
Yeah.
To know that this is not easy for everyone,
I think about, like, as early as age appropriate, I've always known about the way I was born and what my parents had to go through for me to exist. And then I came out at 14. So then very early on, I realised that it's not going to be easy for me either. And it's just something that I've always known. Having babies in a non-conventional way is something that is so normalized for me.
Yeah.
Then my best friend, when we got older, my best friend went through IVF as a single parent by choice. She had also had a sperm donor. So then, like, in the realm of, like, making babies and having a family, it's all I've ever fucking known.
Yeah.
But still, the minute we started, I looked at everyone else that started having babies naturally, and I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I had never felt like that before.
But I was even baffled at when you had said that you had to go through, like, the counselling and all that, and this is what you had chose.
Yep.
Versus people saying, like myself, that would just have babies and there's no counselling. And I think
Yep.
there's so many parents that should have counselling,
Yeah.
but that don't. And it baffled me that you're putting all this money into something that you actually want, and yet they're asking, is this right for you? What the fuck? Like, that baffles me. So I think there's a lot of things that...
Well, like Dana said, she had the choice of doing counselling. I didn't have a choice because we were receiving a sperm donor. And that counselling session is to ensure that you are prepared to talk to your child about their sperm donor or their donor in a way that is age appropriate and not going to mentally fuck them up. Because, for example, if...
Again,
can
there's
I
some
mention
parents who
Adrian's
actually
name?
say stuff.
His name?
Yeah.
His name's okay? Just
Yeah,
not
yeah.
kids. All right. For example, if Adrian and Dana went to have a kid and it turned out that Adrian was medically the issue, then they chose to get a sperm donor, 9 times out of 10 they would probably be choosing someone that maybe looks like Adrian. But then you still have to sit down with that child and say, hey, the person you call daddy isn't biologically your father. Bit different as a queer couple, because, like, when they start to learn about where babies come from, it's going to be like, wait 1 second, what's going on here? It's not computing. It's not computing. Bit different, but I was raised that way. The person I call mum is not my biological mum. She has always been my mum, and she gave me my first bottle and did skin to skin with me when I was first born. But biologically, she is not my mother. And that was always explained to me as age appropriately as possible. They didn't have a counsellor to help them work through that because it was fucking 28 years ago now, right? But now, that's the point of the counselling session, so that we are prepared to have our conversations with our kids that are not going to give them a sense of an identity crisis. Except I walked in there and I was like, you don't need to fucking talk to me about this because I'm donor conceived. I'm good. And both times, for the for 3 times now, my egg donation journey twice and my donation, my journey to getting Austin, all 3 times the counsellor was like, and tell me more about this and what was it like for you? And it was just me explaining to them my fucking childhood.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you got anything out of it?
Fuck no. But I didn't need anything out of it because like, how am I going to get this wrong? How am I going to get this wrong when this is what I had? And my parents did it damn fucking well, mind you.
That's so good.
My parents did it so well, right? So obviously it's easy for us to do that with Austin. And as far as when I donate my eggs, I've always said I'm not that kid's mum. Matter of fact, I don't want to change a nappy. I just want a cuddle one day with that baby, and I want to be a phone call away if they ever have any questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's as simple it is for me.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Back to you. You're the guest.
That's all right. It's like I said, like it's just so strange, the whole thing, because like I have that like jealousy of other couples conceiving naturally, but then at the same time, every time I would walk into that fertility clinic, I would feel a sense of guilt at the same time, because I would see the other women there, the other couples there, just going through it. And then like after I conceived first go with IVF, I just was like, fuck, like you poor women are just like going through it, because there's like Facebook pages for your clinic, and I would see the women and I would see their profile pictures, and then I would see them in the clinics, and so I would read their stories, and then I would see them, and
then it's like a person. It's not just something you're seeing online. It's like a human being in front of you.
Yeah. And so
that's kind of sweet that they have that.
Yeah. And so I would read those, and then I would see them in there, and I would be like, fuck, like I'm just this young girl, I've come in, it's worked for me first time, and these women are like in their 30s, their 40s, and they're still just going through it. And like you would read so much about how many losses they've gone through, and like how far into their pregnancies they've made it, and then you know they haven't walked out with a baby at the end of the day. And I was like so lucky and so grateful that I got the result that I got. And it just really fucks with you, the whole thing. Like you just, so many emotions up and down the whole time. Like it's
so then we get pregnant. You get pregnant. I think we were pregnant around the same time though. We didn't know each other yet.
We didn't know each other.
And the coolest kid. I think he's one of the coolest kids in the world, truly. He's just so much fun. You got to meet this kid.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to now.
You know how Austin is like, they're both the same age. I think
they're a few months apart.
I was going to say his name, but I think your kid is a few months older than...
No, younger.
Younger? Okay, younger. But you know how Austin is just like a little bit scared of the world?
Yeah.
This kid, I get almost said his name. This kid is fucking not. Like
His daycare describe him as a bulldozer. That's the word they use.
I definitely need to meet this.
He is so much fun. Like, and seeing him and Austin play together is so interesting, because Austin like talks to him and like even says his name and like says his name, and he says hi and like says his name, and like they go to play together, and he's like, I don't know, he's just so much fun. I love this kid, right?
He's a funny boy.
Love him. He's a good kid. Anyway,
but yes, we were successful.
You have a healthy pregnancy, no complications.
Phenomenal pregnancy, absolutely picture perfect. Which I was grateful for, because I was like, I had all this shit to get here, and so then I had a wonderful pregnancy. Then leading up to the birth, I was super duper nervous to give birth, but excited. And then had like the thoughts that I may have like a quick labor, because my mum had like fairly quick labors. So it's not a guarantee, but it's, you know, they say it's a bit of an indicator. I got induced, and then my water broke.
Yeah, but I think when you get induced, like, fuck the indicators, because like, did your mum go naturally?
No.
Oh, your mum was induced as well.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Yeah. So I like was induced where it was like the Cervidil.
Yeah, I have the same thing.
Yeah. So put that in, and he was like, oh no, you are going to be taking days, like I'll see you on Wednesday. This was Monday, literally that night water broke on its own. Less than 5 hours, 4 hours.
You were sent home after getting Cervidil?
No, stayed.
Oh, okay, cool, because I stayed too. I thought you just for a second, anyway, whatever.
No, because he was like...
I'll see you Wednesday. I just assumed that meant he sent you home.
No, like he was going to come and check on me, but he was like, I'll see you as in like, I'll be delivering your baby on Wednesday. Yeah, water broke that night. went in, laboured for like maybe 2 hours, and then I was like, get me the epidural.
Yeah.
Got the epidural, and then they checked me immediately after the epidural, and they're like, oh, you're actually 9 centimeters. And so then
He said Wednesday, now it's all happening.
yeah, literally, he walked in. They were like, we're going to call him. He walked in and he goes, well, you're the 1 in 5, because he told me 1 in 5 people go into labour off of 1 dose of Cervidil.
Yeah.
Most people need like a second.
I had a second dose.
And he literally walked in and goes, well, you're the 1 in 5. And then he like came and checked me. He goes, you ready to have a baby? I was like, mate, I've been waiting for you. Like, I have been ready. Like,
Let's get this thing
yeah,
going.
the nurses just like,
I love him. So I know the doctor she's talking about.
Ah.
And he's retired now, right?
He is, yeah.
He's a sweet, sweet guy.
but the nurses were like, oh no, like, we're not going to call him. Like, he's only 15 minutes away. I was like, bitch, I am telling you, like, I'm
Cool.
ready to go. And they're like, no. And I'm like,
And why did you
"Please."
end up getting induced? Were you just over?
No, so he said IVF pregnancy.
Yeah.
He wanted me to be induced. And we...
Because I know that they will induce you for IVF pregnancies when it's over. They don't let you go over a week or something.
They don't... Most OBs don't like you to go past like 39, 40. But he always said to me, like, as a woman and the person birthing, you deserve a choice in everything that you do. He's like, if you're allowed to choose to get a boob job or to do this or to do that, you should be able to choose how you birth. If you want to get a C-section, you should be able to choose that. If you want to get induced, you should be able to choose that. So it is
good.
literally up to you.
That is so good for a male doctor.
Yeah.
Private though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just for backstory, Beck, my OB, which is so weird that we never saw each other in the waiting room.
Yeah, that's true.
We had the same practice. So she had a different OB to me. But it was at the same practice, and yeah, so weird that we never saw each other in the waiting room.
Very weird.
Maybe we did though, but we just obviously weren't
obviously
friends.
didn't know
so
each other, yeah. So yeah, I think I got induced at like 38 and 3, something like that.
Okay.
It was literally like the day he got back from holidays, because I was like, I want you there.
Yeah.
And we were like worried I was going to go into labour before, because he was off for 2 weeks. And he was like, oh, it's my first day back this day. Do you want to do it then? I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah. And so I was like, not fussed. I'm not like one of those people that's like, no, like I have to go to this like term and I need to birth.
You didn't
on
really
my
have like a
own.
strict birth
No,
plan.
I was just like in there, get the epidural, come out alive kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
10 fingers, 10 toes, we're all good to go.
yeah,
I'm all good,
that's
good,
right. I
good,
just
good,
wanted
good,
to
good,
like
good.
have the epidural, and I wanted my husband, my mum, and my cousin.
So like your main thing. Everything
Exactly.
else will work out.
Yeah, I was like,
together.
everything else will just happen how it happens. So yeah, great labour. Like, I always describe it as saying like I loved it.
Which is, remember what I told you when you watched Raquel's episode?
did, yeah.
And I was
I knew
like,
you were
there's a
referring to
guest
me.
that's coming, and
Yeah,
she
so
said that
cool.
she loved her labour and birth.
Yep.
Couldn't fucking be me.
Stand by
but
it.
it's Dana and
So
Raquel.
hard. So hard. Best
So
thing
they're
ever.
out
Yeah, we're
They're
out
fucking
there.
weird, but they're out there.
So yeah, I got my epidural, and then I pushed him out in like 10 minutes. And then he came out grey. He wasn't breathing. He didn't cry, nothing. And like the doctor was like, had his hand on the cord where like you can feel a pulse, I assume. And he was like, even though he's not crying, like he's got a pulse. Like he just needs to boot up. He just needs to boot up.
Boot
At
up
this
like
point,
he's a
at this
fucking
point you
computer.
think we're getting there, we're done.
Yep.
And then you kind of like feel like you can breathe, but I know for some women they haven't even exhaled yet because of something like.
Well,
this
I now
happening.
know from being in therapy that I was completely disassociated.
Which happens. It's more common than not.
Yeah, and so like he was on my chest, and I watched the video back because I have like full videos, and he's on my chest and he's just like not there. Like he's just, it's not good. And they're like rubbing him, and then
Did they put a mask on him to breathe?
not straight away. So
They put one on Austin because he
Really?
didn't cry either.
yeah,
And then when he did start breathing, he still didn't cry. He was just kind of like looking around.
that was kind of like
That was my niece.
Yeah.
Alana. She's
yeah.
very
and she's
relaxed.
like, she's not crying, and they're like, she's fine because we could literally see she was.
She's breathing and
Taking
she's like
everything,
alert.
yeah.
Yeah. Same as Austin.
So they eventually like we cut the cord and everything, and then they took him out into the hallway, and I wanted my husband to go with him. And so like the doctor, the midwife, my husband, my mum, and my cousin all went out into the hallway, and I was just literally on this bed, legs spread, blood everywhere, full in the nude, like just like like
no one stayed
no
with you?
idea. My cousin came back in, and I was just like crying, heavy breathing, like probably a panic attack.
Yeah.
And I just remember like saying to her, what's happening? What's happening? Is he okay? Is he okay? And she just came in and I don't know. Like no one knew.
And they wouldn't have said much either. Just
They were just focused on doing what they needed to do. And then I heard a baby cry and I thought, oh my God, thank God. Turned out it was the baby in the next room. And so I'm like, thought that it was him, but then it wasn't. And so this went on for a really long time, and I'm just there like I have no idea what's going on.
You obviously had like nurses trying to clean you up though.
No, I had no one. I was by myself.
Fucked off.
They were all just focusing on him and trying to get him going.
at that point, like it's...
This is serious.
Yeah. And so they got him going, and then they
booted him up.
They
The way
booted
you
him
said
up.
that, it's like put the fucking batteries in. It's actually really funny. In Spanish, there's a saying that says, "Put your batteries in, let's go." Like,
that's
pick it up.
That's it. So they brought him in and put him on my chest, and like you said, like he still didn't cry. There was no crying. He just kept going. And I kept saying to them, "Is he okay? Like, is this noise normal? Is this normal?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's fine." And then they did little tests on him while after they got him breathing, they were taking
I can
blood.
feel my breathing very laboured. I'm like...
Like you're stressing out about it,
stressing
hearing
out
this
about
story.
hearing this,
I've heard
like-
this story in bits and pieces, but never in this much detail.
And so they took blood or whatnot, and I had him maybe 5-10 minutes, and we took some photos, and then they came back and they said, "We're just going to take him. His levels are a bit off. He's just going to go to special care for a couple of hours." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just think I was like so fucking out of it that it was just like, yeah, all good.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah. Like, wasn't like, no, like, bring me back my baby. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I would never let my child...
would be better for you as you're still bleeding, everything's
Yeah.
going on. Like, I kind
Yeah.
of thinking the flip side of that would have been you panicking or panic attack, whatever, or worse.
Yeah.
That's not going to help anybody, especially you.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would have been better for you.
Yeah, like, I think just, from knowing now, like, how disassociated I was, like, it was so strange because obviously being a first-time parent, when he was, like, placed on my chest, I don't even know if I viewed him as mine.
That happened to me for the first 6 weeks.
I did that with my first. I'm like...
Where the fuck did you come from?
I'm like... I remember thinking 18 to life. Like,
Yeah.
I was like...
18 to life, like a prison sentence.
Yeah, literally, that's what Beck says every time.
I was like 22 still looking at my mum for safety. Like, tell me this is going to be okay. As I'm birthing, why at any point did I think...
Great idea. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
like at 18, like, we're all good to go. You're right, just throw you out into the world. Like, kick you out of the nest. Off you go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 18 to life. Fuck me. Until you actually hold this child, you're like, whoa. But there's also that part where like, is this mine? Is it like, I feel
That's
like I'm
how I
holding somebody
felt.
else's baby.
I felt like I had 9 months of discomfort because I didn't really love pregnancy. 27 hours of intense pain, and then a baby fell out of the sky and onto my chest, and I had to learn who I was like, where did you come from?
Yeah. And it's like such a mind fuck, like literally doing IVF, IUI. Like, we tried so hard to get you, and now that you're here, I'm like, huh?
Who the fuck are you?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Like,
and like
And it's not like that on movies. There's no, like, people tell you about it, but they don't think they tell you this. I never heard of this story until being on the podcast and hearing this. All the years I've been a mother, this is probably only happening for like the last month or 3 months, because I'd never heard anybody be like, yeah, I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, oh my God. It was
like that,
even
but,
leading up to being the
immediately,
first
like,
month,
I
and I'm
loved
like,
them so
why aren't
much,
I feeling
like,
this?
yeah.
You question your own.
It wasn't until Austin was like 3, maybe 4 days old, he got the hiccups, and I was like, oh, that was you. In my, like, I felt him get the hiccups when I was pregnant, and I was like, fuck, that was you. But then even then, it wasn't for another 6 to 8 weeks ish, maybe even 3 months.
Yeah,
where I was
would
like,
say 3 to 4 months.
Oh, you're my kid, I guess. You're my kind of ugly. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and then
crazy.
also, like, when they start to look less like a sack of shit, I was like, oh, you have my eyes, and oh, you're the donor's nose. Do you know what I mean?
But that's like, why are we not?
Because they do. They look like a
even
sack of
more,
shit
so
for
that
the
we can be
first
like,
little bit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
So many women would say that because leading up to my first, nobody said that. Everybody said, you feel this immediate love.
You'll never know
So when I
a
didn't
love
feel
like
that, I
it.
was
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with me? And that probably contributed to a lot of postpartum, like, depression.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, even when he was like in special care in the little friggin' box thing.
Incubator.
Incubator.
You got it. You got it, girlfriend. Well done, baby.
Getting the oxygen. Like, I was in the room, literally, and I felt like I just was like, okay, well, that's done. Next, like...
What do we do now?
Yeah, literally. Like, he came in, checked me, and he's like, fuck, you didn't tear. Like, how good's that? Like, when I say, like, I had a great experience birthing-wise, like, I did. It was... Besides the whole, like, him not breathing thing, fucking 10 out of 10.
And I remember when you were pregnant with your second, you were like, I'm so excited to do this again.
100%. I would do it tomorrow. Like, I would do it every week.
She's fucking crazy.
So, yeah, it was like he came out, he went off, and then it was just like, okay, well, like, I did it. That was so fucking cool. Like, absolutely loved that. And I think my brain wasn't, like, computing, like, you've got a baby in the next room that's, like, not doing very well.
Survival hasn't quite kicked in for you. Just like, we made that.
Yeah.
Tick.
And so it was kind of just like, I don't know if it came back to, like, a selfishness thing because I had never, like, had a baby, but I was like, all right, well, I need to clean myself up. Like, I need to have a shower and I need to...
Oh, no, I did that.
Yeah.
Immediately, like, I had a good couple of... I don't know how long it was with him on my chest. But the minute they moved him off, I was like... I remember saying to one of my nurses, can I get up? And she was like, no,
I said that
you
too.
will collapse.
I was like, I want to get up. And they were like, well, we need to take the epidural out. And I was like, well, fucking take it out. And they took it out. And then later I was like, so can I get up now? And they're like, well, can you lift your leg? And I was like... And they were like, okay.
No, like, I couldn't. But I was like, I want to get up. And they were like, no, you can't. Like, we can't get you up. And I was like, I need to get up. She was like, no, you can't move. And I was like, I don't care. And I remember feeling that.
Mother/woman though, like,
right?
we're kicked straight back in. All right, what's next?
If I'm determined, I can fucking do anything.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're telling me I can't get up, like, I will get up just to prove you
I
wrong.
actually physically couldn't.
No,
but I was like, I want to. And she was like, no, like, if you get up, you're going to hit the floor.
Can you imagine there's like a hole of inside out in her head? You can't be, not easy,
Yeah.
not easy. And they're like, you
The
can't.
legs
They're like,
just
you can.
giving up. Well, I'm lucky. Thank you for not letting me get up because I would have literally like hit the fucking deck. But I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I understand that need of like, I need a shower. I don't feel like myself. Let me just cleanse
like,
myself.
I'm covered in blood and gunk and whatever.
And sweating.
Yeah,
and like,
sweating.
Yeah.
And so I got up, I showered, and then it was kind of hit me like, oh, well, can I go see my baby? Because like Adrian got to go and he came back and like showed me a photo of him in the little incubator. And I was like, oh, wow.
Had you guys already named him at this point?
Yeah, we knew the name.
Oh, that's right. When you were pregnant, you chose his name.
Yeah, so we weren't going to find out the gender, but I ended up finding out at 24 weeks because I just caved because I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, like I got to walk over and see him, and it was like quite a shock because when he came out and he was on my chest, he was grey. And then when I saw him, he actually looked like a baby.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I said. I was, oh my God, his colour.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a baby. Like, and I look back at those photos from the incubator and he was just so precious and cute. And like, I was like, oh my God, he's such a cute baby.
And now he's a bulldozer.
Yeah, and now he's a bulldozer. And I just remember like wanting to hold him, but like too scared to ask. And being like, because it doesn't compute. That's your baby.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I didn't ask. And the special care nurse was like, just going to like give him some oxygen and like see how he goes. And maybe later you can have a hold. And I just remember thinking like, what in the actual fuck? Like, this was my biggest fear and it's come true. Like, I was so stressed about having a baby, them not breathing and then having to be whisked away. And I feel like I honestly, even to this day, think that I manifested that. I like thought about it. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. And because I was like so in my head about it happened.
Yeah, fuck.
And so like all in all, he stayed in there for I think 3 nights. So it was weird because he just did nothing. Like obviously he's a newborn, most of them do nothing, but he did not cry, he did not do anything. And there was like one other baby in there and that baby would get undressed and have its nappy change and it would cry. And he would get undressed, have his nappy change, and he would just lay there. And I was like, why isn't he crying? Like, what's going on? And we would try and feed him. He wouldn't suck on a bottle. Like, he had to have the tube down his nose to be fed because he just wouldn't feed. And like, we kept trying to breastfeed and he just wouldn't latch. We'd try and give him the bottle, wouldn't suck. So everything had to go down the tube. And
how long did you say he was in there, sorry?
3 nights.
3 nights. Okay. That's a scary amount of time, I think.
And like, everything was like, okay, but I always like, and I've said this in therapy as well, like I don't think it registered that he was mine because I was going to visit him He wasn't with me. And I was like, I just felt like I was visiting somebody else's baby.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where the disconnect happened immediately. Like there wasn't this skin to skin. He got taken away. I was visiting him like.
And again, you weren't actually doing anything because it was completely separate rooms. You were in the NICU unit. You've been doing what you can, sort of going back to your room.
Exactly. And then just waiting
for your lunch to come or something. You know what I mean? Cool.
So literally somebody else, like a nurse, was changing his nappy and shit.
So we would get to do it, but it was kind of like, you're more than welcome to like come as long as you want, but it was kind of just like this, like we change him, we feed him, and then he goes back to sleep. And
that's what a newborn does anyway.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it was the sense that like there's no real need for you to be here. Like there's not that you can't come, but it was kind of just like, okay, we've changed him, we fed him, he's gone back to sleep. And then it was kind of just like you would go back to your room. That was just like the expectation. And then it came like day 2 and he'd actually started to feed. He started sucking. We like miraculously got him to latch. And we were like, oh my God, things are going so well. And the pediatrician was like, we need to see him consistently feed all day. And if that happens, then we'll look at discharging him and he can come back to you. And I was like, oh, perfect. And I'm like telling everyone it's like going better. So like we've made good progress. And then the pediatrician calls me. No, sorry, I think he came. And he goes, I've spoken to the public hospital because we've been considering transferring him over there to the NICU. But they want me to just run some scans first because we're worried he's got brain damage. And so I was like by myself at this point because I think my husband was back in the room and I was in special care. And he was like... That
went from 0 to 100.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this is great. Like we're going, like we're improving. It's only up from here.
Take him back.
Yeah. And then it was, we think he's got brain damage. And then the pediatrician was like, do you want to like me to call your husband and I can relay that for you, or would you like
because
to
at that point
it?
I would have just heard blah 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 brain damage.
Yeah. And so I was like, I don't know why I said I would do it, but I was like, no, I'll do it. I think because I knew how much it would hurt him. I felt like maybe I could soften the blow by
but
doing
also
it.
Hearing you distressed probably fucked him up a bit.
Yeah. Too. So I think he was in the room with my mum, and I think I messaged my mum and said, can you tell him to come here? And so he came, and then I was just like hysterical. Couldn't even get the words out. I think I just said, he's got brain damage. And then he was sobbing, and we're both just sitting there like hysterically crying together. And bless the nurse, she came over and she was trying her absolute best. She was like down onto both of her knees, and she's like, but look at him, look at the progress. Like, I know that's what they're saying, but look at him from yesterday to today, all the things he's doing. Like, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, I'm pretty sure it was my birthday that day. Or maybe the day after, because we were born like 2 days apart.
Oh, wow.
Like, so he was in special care on my birthday. And I remember going in there and someone was like, what's the date? And they're like, what's and I was like, oh, it's my birthday. And the nurse was like, is it? I'm like, yeah, I forgot. And like, it was just so sweet.
Well, yeah, because you're not thinking about anything else.
Yeah. Anyway, he went for the scans and I was like a fucking mess. He was wheeled down with the nurse and we were like walking behind him. So it was like, wasn't even us wheeling him. They were wheeling him and they were kind of like taking charge and we were just there. I remember sitting in the waiting room of the ultrasound place and everybody looking at us. And I was like, these people are probably just like, oh, these poor parents. And I was like, I don't want fucking people to feel sorry for me. Like, it's just like so much going through your head. Because they're probably like, oh, look at that really cute baby. They're so tiny. But like, why are they here?
Yeah, why is a newborn here? Yeah.
Anyway, they did the scans and bless the lady that did it. Obviously, she's not the doctor, so she can't fully say like what the go is. But she was like, from everything I can see, it's looking great. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a relief.
That's promising.
Yeah, and then...
Speak up a bit.
Oh, sorry. And then, the doctor called and he was like, everything is clear. And so I was like, what a fucking roller coaster. Like, it was just like this. And then the next day, he was feeding well, so he was able to come back to us. So then it was kind of just like... After that, I had him, but I just felt like a disconnect from him. Yeah. Which I don't think I came to terms with for a very long time. Like, it was a few months in, and I remember a friend of mine saying to me, do you feel really bonded to him yet? And I was like, I think I said to her, I think he's bonded to me, but I don't know if I've bonded to him.
See, if somebody said that to me, that would be the question that freaks me out. I'm like,
I
have to love him. I do, and you do love him. With it, like you would move heaven and earth. But there's not that rainbows and fairy tales like they talk about in movies and all the other mothers tell you. So I'd be like, do they think something's wrong with me? Yeah.
Yeah. We're bonded for life. Yep.
Yeah.
Because they said that, I'm like, and, it's been 11 years since my youngest anybody's ever asked that, but I remember 20 years ago from my first, when someone was like, is everything okay? I'm like, yes, it is.
Loving it. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
It's a PTSD question for me every time.
Yeah.
I would never say to a mother, knowing now what that question was for me, do you feel bonded? My first question would be, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, generally, are you okay?
No,
like,
and
waiting for the mother to break down and be like,
that group of friends.
Knew it.
Like,
okay.
that specific group of friends, like, I felt like I could say whatever I needed to say.
And that's what you need. That's
and they,
need,
would just, like, I could just say however I was feeling, and even if they knew, like, maybe she's not doing so well, like, they were just able to comfort and provide advice and just be there for me. So it was a very safe space for me. So
Ideal.
So I was very lucky in that sense. But it's like postpartum was just a fucking, like I always say, 0 to 1 took me the fuck out. Like it hit me like an absolute ton of bricks. Like I was not prepared in the slightest, and you can't be. You can never fully be prepared for having a baby.
Everyone will tell you that.
But like you just don't know until you're in it, and it like just fucking.
And even if you do the whole like listening to podcasts, or you read the books, or you there's like a podcast called like Australian Birth Stories, and you're like, even if you listen to every other person's experience, nothing compares. No. Nothing fucking compares.
It's like same but different, and you're like, it's not mine. It's not what I'm thinking or feeling, because you just don't think of it. You just don't think that there's
all you see online is like people like talking about the positives, which there's definitely a space for, and you're like, why do I not feel like that?
Why did I not do the flip side?
And
so
like
you feel like
you're like, I'm in my newborn bubble, like I'm just living my best life, and I was like, I'm fucking miserable. Like, what is this? Like, this is.
I was miserable literally until the week of Austin's first birthday, and we've talked about that on the pod. The week of Austin's first birthday, and then I was like, I have a toddler now. and I've talked to you about it before. Like the first 12 months knocked me the fuck out. With so much peace and love.
Unrealistic
expectations. Yeah. And like yesterday, Taylor was going through her phone and she was like finding all these old videos of like 7-month-old Austin. And she was like, oh, look at him. And like there's videos of me and Austin looking cutesy and looking happy. And I didn't say anything to Taylor, but I was like, after Taylor filmed that video, I broke down and cried. But it's not caught on the video. Like,
no, because we don't capture those moments.
Correct, right? Because no right partner is going to be like, okay, you crying? Let me just...
Sometimes,
do you know what I mean?
Some people, I wouldn't have been up for that. But some people, I think that's what I would have wanted to know.
Yeah.
Being at that point.
That's a good point.
And I feel like,
where is this person? Get onto that mother's group. Where are they?
You can't.
Be anonymous.
At the same time, like
you
just can't win, because if you see stuff on social media where someone's like saying how they're loving it, people will be in the comments saying, "Oh, you're just glamorizing it, and you're making other mothers feel bad." And then if you talk about how miserable you are, people are saying, "Well, not everyone's miserable. Like some people love it, or you should be grateful and things like that." And that was another thing that fucked with me.
Women ripping into other women.
Exactly.
That fucked with you because it fucked with me too.
Because I was like, I worked
paid
so
much
hard,
money for
I
this.
paid money. I wanted this so badly. Here I am, and now I'm fucking miserable. I was like a few days in, and I was sitting in the kitchen holding him, and I just kept thinking to myself, who could I give him to? Like, who would take him? Like, maybe if I ask my mum, maybe she'll take him.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it wasn't like a thing where I thought that for a long time. It was just like a split
it crossed
second.
Your mind.
Yeah. I was like, I can't fucking do this.
That feels like, remember how I said to you, like, I had that little thing, like, okay, so if I just drown you for a second, like, this would all go. But at the same time...
Have you heard that podcast episode?
No.
Go back and
when I
listen
talk
to it.
about my postnatal depression, like, he was in this much water in the bath. This is my 20-year-old son.
Yeah.
This much water in the bath. So he wasn't going to drown. I absolutely wasn't going to move my hand away. Like, there's something that was so conflicting in, like, a second where I'm like, if I just let you go, this will all go away. And by this, I meant the feelings.
Yeah.
But
Not
I
you.
would have absolutely ripped off my limbs to save you as well.
Yeah.
But in that instance, like, so when you're like, who can I give him to? I was like,
my thing, that's
Me
interesting
too.
that you had that passing moment of being like, oh, maybe my mum will take him. Because my thought was, no one can know that I'm feeling like this.
Right.
And if anyone ever, and it happened multiple times, gave me, if he was crying and they gave me a suggestion on how to settle him, or they asked why I did things a certain way, I would get so defensive.
Oh, me too.
And get so angry.
Me too.
And get kind of aggressive, low-key. Because how dare you think I'm doing this wrong when I'm trying my hardest?
Yeah.
How dare you fucking think that I could do this your way or a better way?
Yeah.
When I'm struggling my fucking hardest and I'm doing my best here.
Yeah.
I know best.
Yeah.
Even though I'm struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And it would like, he'd be screaming and my mum would be like, maybe you should just try singing to him. I'd be like, fuck you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah,
Try
you get,
singing,
like,
bitch.
Stupid suggestion. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Like, grow the fuck up.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was very open with specific people about how I was struggling. Like, I had my safe people that I would
Were they
speak
other
to.
mums or parents?
My mum, I wouldn't even say other parents. One of them, I had my old manager, I lent on a lot, and I would say and go to her like, I felt so angry, like I wanted to throw him. And she was like, I felt like that too. And I was like, oh, thank fuck.
Yeah.
But you didn't throw him.
No, didn't throw him. Didn't throw him.
But you didn't.
And this
And
is why
like,
we talk about the intrusive thoughts are literally just that because...
intrusive thoughts are good. They are good because they intrude because you don't want them there.
Exactly.
If it's any other thought and you going to act on it, it's not intrusive. It's just a thought that you then act on.
Yeah.
But when it's an intrusive thought, that's a good thing.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very open about how like I was struggling. I don't think to the fullest extent, because I remember one time we were driving in the car and Adrian, I think, was trying to very gently raise the idea of like me having postpartum depression. And he was like, maybe you're struggling a little bit.
And that's how he talks too. He's, how Chris is like a bit abrupt and like to the point.
Yeah.
Oh, Adrian can very much be like
yeah,
that.
but Adrian is like, he's so like, maybe we should consider this, Dana.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he was just being so careful about
To
how
not
he
fucking
said it.
say
And he
it.
was like, maybe there's a little bit of like postpartum depression. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, how fucking dare you? Like, I'm struggling, but that's normal. Like,
But I'm also not showering. I'm not eating.
yeah,
Like,
I'm showering, I'm eating,
I'm
I
functioning.
present myself, I get dressed every day, I clean the house. Like, I wasn't like you come and like, I am
I
just
haven't showered for
disheveled
6
mess.
days.
Yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
that.
me too. I
Yeah.
was the same as
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
I cleaned myself up every day.
My house was fucking spotless. Like, I was dressed every day.
Yeah.
He was cared
And if
for.
anybody was going to notice that you may have been a slight bit different, it would have been your husband. Because
Yeah.
to everybody else, you would have looked like a functioning
Because I was
mother.
like pushing people away a lot. Like, I wanted the people in my circle that I wanted, and everybody else can fuck off. Don't speak to me. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear suggestions. Like, I just wanted the people I wanted, and that was it. But I eventually like came to terms with it all, and it took a really long time for me to realize that I needed like some extra support, and a lot
For
of
the
that,
noggin.
a lot of that came after my son's hip dysplasia diagnosis.
Which is what I was going to ask about next. Tell
Yes.
us about hip dysplasia.
hip dysplasia, the bane of my existence.
This episode is to be continued.